Good morning, Rebels, and welcome back to my life. It's Tolkien Tuesday, the day we talk about J.R.R. Tolkien, The Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, and any exciting real-life happenings in the world of Tolkien, and today we're going to talk about the Valar, or the gods of Middle-earth. When you talk about the Valar, there's a tendency for people to refer to them as part of the religion of Middle-earth. But we have to carefully define what we mean when we say religion. There is no system of belief around the Valar. They are not believed in, they are there. You didn't explicitly see the Valar in The Lord of the Rings, but you did see them do things, and you did see their servants in the film, which we'll talk about in another video. Now, if we define religion as a system of worship, then yes, there is religion in the Lord of the Rings books, although they left it out of the movies. But there are no churches, mosques, or synagogues in Middle-earth. There are no Qurans, or Bibles, or Torah. So there is no, like, organized religion. Okay, we got that straightened out? Alright, so the Valar are an order of divine being just underneath the divine being, Eru Ilúvatar, the one god. So Ilúvatar was the first guy around, and he created everything else that there was, including the first other beings in the universe, the Ainur. Fun side note, according to Tolkien, Ilúvatar only did 4 things in the history of Middle-earth. 1, creating the men and elves. 2, splitting the world in half. 3, bringing Gandalf back to life. And 4, tripping Gollum so that he would fall into the fires of Mount Doom. Kind of a descending order of epicness. You start off creating 2 entire species and end up by tripping a hobbit into some lava. So the Ainur that were created were of 2 types. The Valar, who we're talking about today, and the Maiar, who were sort of like angels. We'll discuss the Maiar in another video, and you've seen a few of them in the films, by the way, but the Valar were the gods. If this were Greek mythology, they'd be the people like Zeus and Hera and Aphrodite and so on. So if the Valar were around, why don't we see them? Where are they when Sauron is tearing stuff up? Well, the Valar actually used to live all across Middle-earth. Well, hold on, we need to talk about that too. Middle-earth is just humanity's name for where they happen to live, and it's called Middle-earth because there are lands to the west of it and lands to the east of it. The lands to the east of it are where barbaric men live, and the lands to the west of it are where the Valar eventually settled down. See, there was this big war with a bad Valar named Melkor, and when it was all done, the Valar retired across the sea in the lands to the west, and they called that place Valinor. So why didn't people from Middle-earth just go to Valinor? Well, they actually used to be able to, although the route was very treacherous. In fact, when Melkor started stirring up trouble in Middle-earth again, a guy named Arendil did go to Valinor to ask the Valar for help. He turned into a star afterwards, by the way. It's a long story. But after another very long time, men tried to invade Valinor, because of course they did, and the Valar dealt with it, but then they decided that they couldn't just be sitting there for people to come and invade whenever they wanted. So they turned to Eru Ilúvatar, remember, the god, the big man upstairs, and they asked for his help, and he split the world in 2. On one half you had Middle-earth and then all of the lands to the east, and on the other half you had Valinor, where the Valar could live. He turned the Middle-earth half into a sphere, so that if anyone ever tried to sail for Valinor again, they would just circle back around and hit the lands to the east, and he suspended Valinor above Middle-earth so that nobody could reach it by boat. But he left one sea road stretching all the way from Middle-earth to Valinor so that the elves could still sail across it when they wanted to return to what was actually their homeland. That's another long story. Although that road was also traveled by a few other individuals of special significance. At the end of the Lord of the Rings films, Frodo and Bilbo, who were the ring bearers, got to sail to the west to go to Valinor. That's where they went. And fun side note, Sam also got to go to Valinor at the end of his life because remember, he carried the ring for like 5 minutes. And finally, Gimli also got to go. After hundreds of years when Legolas wanted to leave Middle-earth and return to Valinor, he took his best friend with him. Wow, sorry, that always gets me kind of like choked up. It's weird. Gimli and Legolas, my love for the 2 of you will never die. So today we learned what the Valar were and where they were, and next week we'll start delving into who they were and what they did in the history of Middle-earth, because it turns out that some of it was pretty important. As always, Rebels, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow. Maybe. Bye!